So guys, very good afternoon. So welcome to new batch, new students. So glad to meet you all, not for old students. Okay. Chalo. So as far as for this introduction, it's a brief introduction of your history, sir, not for old students. So this is Rasool, Faculty of History, teaching in different institutes, appeared for civil services, done MA in History from Pondicherry Central University. And this is the brief history of your history, sir. So you're supposed to remember what he teaches, not gentlemen, right? So this is the brief history. Now we'll start with world history. We'll start with world history. Let me, before getting the details of what are the topics we're going to learn in subsequent classes, world history topics, let me get your background. So, no, it takes a lot of time. Your good name, you're from even. So, how many of you from non-social sciences background? Right? Not old students. Right? Sorry, okay. Non-social sciences background. Right? Fine. How many of you from social sciences background? Social sciences background. So it is like, political science, history. Chalo, good. Reason being, for non-social sciences background students, I have to get into very details, the very basic concepts. It is not required for social sciences students. Firbi, we'll start with basics and all. As far as history is concerned, we have three components in Indian history, that is ancient, followed by medieval, and finally modern. We'll be going to start from ancient onwards once we're done with modern. History of modern world, you call it, or modern world history. So I have three components, ancient, medieval and modern, which are important for all competitive exams, right from group 4 to civil services. And especially for civil services, we have for prelims and mains. And if someone asks the question, then how about modern world history? Modern world history, important for only mains, general studies, mains. Only for mains, not important for prelims. Right? There is a proposal. How many of you from Andhra Pradesh? Including myself. Okay. So, there is a proposal in UPSC Group 1, world history to be introduced. So, three components. When I say three components, that is Indian history, which carries 50 marks, world history, which also carries the same marks, and followed by AP history, which also carries the same marks. 150 marks, only history, 150 marks. So if it is a proposed syllabus, we're not sure, proposed syllabus, if it will be introduced, when I say it, world history, yes, obviously, definitely, it also helps you in clearing mains. Group 1 mains, right? When it comes to civil services mains, yes, we have world history. So with this background, start with topics. You can write down the topics. What are the topics we are going to learn in subsequent classes? I request the new students, Pata students and Mammal request Jeshav. Okay, Mimmal request Jessa. Okay. I request all, first go through the syllabus. And we have been what we call nurturing you people, those who have been attending the classes. First syllabus, followed by previous year question papers, followed by standard books. So especially for new students, first go through the syllabus. Syllabus of general studies prelims, syllabus of general studies mains. Take the syllabus. Right? Go through the syllabus. What are the components? Right? Once you go through the syllabus, take previous year questions. You get some sort of booklets in market, maybe 10 years, maybe 15 years, maybe 20 years. So when you go through previous year question papers, you'll understand how the questions are being framed and how I supposed to read. The main motto of going through the previous year question papers, how the questions are being framed, the nature of the questions, and finally, that is the standard books, reference books. Once you get command over these three elements, let me tell you, your 50% preparation got completed. The remaining 50%, just attend the classes, revise, start writing something when it comes to mains and all. To get command over these three elements, few aspirants take 1 year, the remaining take the 2 years, few may take 5 years, the remaining take lifetime, 30 years industry. Generally, we get this kind of statement. So first, have this syllabus, whatever the exam you prepare, maybe for UPSC, maybe SSC, IBPS, IFS, Indian Foreign Service, IAS, Indian Engineering Service, Group 1 services, Group 2 services, whatever the services you prepare for, first go through the syllabus. and try to understand the syllabus. Try to digest the syllabus. No, syllabus for all, I'm talking about not only for syllabus of history, for all subjects. I'm talking about GS, General Studies, be it for prelims and be it for mains. Just go to upsc.gov.in. You'll get syllabus. Take printout, prelims syllabus. There will be 2 papers, GS, that is General Studies and CSAT. Go through the syllabus. Then go for, we have the mains papers. First, go through the syllabus, followed by previous year question papers. As of now, go through prelims question papers. As of now, after 1 year, not 1 year, after 1 month or 2 months, then take previous year question papers of General Studies mains. As of now, go through previous year question papers of prelims. So just follow this. So with this background, that is the topics, when you go through syllabus of General Studies mains history, that is GS paper 2, you call it GS paper 2. When we consider general essay as GS paper 1, we are supposed to consider GS paper 2, that is General Studies paper 2, say history and geography. So GS paper 2 consists of how many marks? 250 marks. 50% for history, remaining 50% for geography. That's it, right? 50%, 125 marks for history, the remaining 125 marks for geography. Go through, the couple of days ago, we have General Studies paper 2 exam handle. So when you go through syllabus, you come across these topics, especially from 18th century to up to downfall of USSR. From 18th century to downfall of USSR. So the first topic starts with American Revolution. American Revolution, the first topic. So let us understand the summary of American Revolution. I'll be going to speak what does it mean by revolution and what does it mean by movement. What is the difference between revolution and movement? Already those who have attending classes, they were quite aware of. But I'll be going to talk from scratch, from basic concepts onwards. So in which circumstances, we have 2 Americas, everyone knows, North America and South America. In which circumstances, North America, there were so many countries in North America. Now we are going to discuss the history of United States of America, not all other countries of North American continent. The history of United States of America. So in which circumstances, European countries colonized 13 colonies. How we found battles between England and France. Outcome, France was defeated by England. Resulted, England emerged as a boss in 13 colonies. So England followed so many exploitative policies towards 13 colonies. And what is the response of the leaders, the people of 13 colonies? They have decided to organize a revolution. It's nothing but American Revolution. So American Revolution, of the duration of American Revolution, otherwise called as American War of Independence, 1776 to 1780. So we found so many battles between American colonies, 13 colonies and England, wherein 13 colonies have got victory. Resulted, it was in the year 1783, America was given independence. How India was given independence? In 1947, American Revolution. So the way Americans fought against England, that is mother country, in 18th century. So this particular event became the source of inspiration to other events. The other events are nothing but French Revolution. The second topic, French Revolution. French Revolution of 1789. French Revolution of 1789. So when we understand the summary of French Revolution, American Revolution belonged to America, that is North America. When it comes to French Revolution, belonged to European continent. There are so many countries in European continent. One of the countries happened to be France. So I'm not saying just because Americans have got victory in the war of conflicts which fought between Americans and England, and thereby England got defeated and Americans were given. So just because France experienced revolution, no. There were so many the factors responsible for the outbreak of revolution. మనం తెలుగులో ఫ్రెంచ్ విప్లవం అంటాం తెలుగు. All are Telugu, sir, any non-Telugu, sir? From, right. Telugu बोलने नहीं आता, लिखने नहीं आता. चलो, glad to meet you. मुझे बोलना आता है. कभी कभी लिखता हूँ. ये लोगों का दिक्कत होता है. चलो. So, French Revolution of 1789. As far as French Revolution of 1789, I'll be going to speak what were the events which led to the outbreak of revolution. So, France experienced a massive revolution in the year 1789. Those who have attended Indian history classes, we discussed we followed the strategy. So, factors that led to the outbreak of 1857 revolt, more or less the same factors we are going to discuss. So, how French society in 18th century, how economic institutions were working under this reign, how religious factors responsible for the outbreak of revolution, how political factors, especially Bourbons were the masters of France at this point of time, how they played crucial role in inviting revolution, and obviously intellectuals. We have the three famous intellectuals. One among them was Voltaire, one among them was Montesquieu, one among them was Rousseau, Social Contract and all that. So, Social Contract is the name of the book which is written by Rousseau. So, intellectuals also played crucial role. French Revolution, the outcome of French Revolution of 1789, monarchy was replaced by republic. Outcome. What was the outcome of 1857 revolt? Company was replaced by crown. English East India Company, which was a master of British India from 1757 to 1857, was replaced by crown, and from 1858 to 1947, crown was a master of British India. When it comes to here, the outcome of French Revolution of 1789, monarchy was replaced by republican form of government. The autocratic government was replaced by the people's government. Unfortunately, people's government did not solve the problems of France. Outcome, within a decade, from 1789 to 1799, within a decade, France tilted towards monarchical form of government. And the name of the gentleman happened to be Napoleon Bonaparte. The question is, when you are saying people organized revolution against monarch, yes. Monarchy was replaced by republican government, yes. People's government, yes. Instead of continuing people's government, why did the people of France organize revolution, once again revolution to people's government, and why did they invite another the monarch by name Napoleon Bonaparte? That will be those events that will be discussed here. Napoleon Bonaparte. So, as part of French Revolution, we are going to discuss Napoleon Bonaparte. So, when you go through syllabus, you come across a phrase called Napoleon Bonaparte and his reforms. Syllabus I am talking. Napoleon Bonaparte and his reforms. And it was Napoleon Bonaparte who conquered almost all countries of Europe except England. The entire continent was conquered by Napoleon Bonaparte except England. And we found constant conflicts between England and France. When I say France, Napoleon Bonaparte. Outcome, England, under the guidance of England, the other countries of Europe, so they defeated Napoleon Bonaparte. All these events that will be discussed in the tag called French Revolution and aftermath. The third topic, Industrial Revolution. So, Anuradha Mokashi also says, मुझे तेलुगु नहीं आता. Anuradha Mokashi. Yes, चलो, आपको एक नंबर मिल गया. So, Industrial Revolution. As far as Industrial Revolution is concerned, the first two revolutions, when I say first two revolutions, that is American Revolution and French Revolution, these two revolutions related to political sector. American Revolution of 1776, 1788, 83 and French Revolution of 1789, these two revolutions related to political sector. When it comes to Industrial Revolution related to economic sector. We are going to start the discussion. There are two what we call opinions among the scholars. The few scholars prefer to call this particular the development, the events which took place in England at the beginning, and gradually these events had spread other parts of Europe, that is the process called industrialization. Few scholars prefer to call these events as industrial evolution. The remaining scholars branded these events as industrial revolution. We are going to spend a little bit time, because it was in 2016 the question asked how far we are justifying in branding the process called industrialization as industrial revolution. So, when you get to know all these things, when you go through previous year question papers, how the questions are being framed, how I have to organize content based on the question. Industrial Revolution. Extremely important topic. And when you go through previous question papers, especially General Studies mains, the questions are interconnected with Indian history. How Industrial Revolution brought radical change in the perception of English is a company oblique English government towards colonies in general, in particular India. Questions can be framed either ways, provided we shall have the clarity over what is this Industrial Revolution, what were the events which led to the Industrial Revolution, and how Industrial Revolution went on. When did Industrial Revolution process, the start in England, and when it's it started spreading other parts of Europe, and besides Europe, how did Industrial Revolution go to Asian continent and other continents and all. So holistic approach we're supposed to follow while you're reading these topics, because mains, connectivity is important, linking the concept is important. So we're going to learn why only Industrial Revolution, born and brought up in England, how it went on courses, and finally consequences. And the last topic of Industrial Revolution, what were the positive consequences of Industrial Revolution and negative consequences of Industrial Revolution. So the third topic of modern world history, Industrial Revolution. The fourth topic, nationalism in Europe. Nationalism in Europe. Nationalism in Europe. So obviously we are going to start with basic concepts. What does it mean by nationalism? Already So old batch students are quite aware of, but we are going to start with basic concepts. What does it mean by nation? What does it mean by state? What does it mean by nationalism? How nationalism concept gained momentum in Europe, from where Europe received nationalism concept, and how Napoleon Bonaparte was responsible for unifications, especially say the feeling called oneness in Europe, we are going to learn. So the fourth topic, nationalism in Europe. This fourth topic lo subtopic, you can write down the subtopic, 4A you call it, 4A subtopic, that is unification of Italy. Under nationalism of Europe, or nationalism in Europe, we have to learn two subtopics, unification of Italy. So Pujita asked the question, nationalism in Europe is related to which sector? Political sector. Political sector. Unification of Italy. The second subtopic of nationalism in Europe, unification of Germany. Unification of Germany. Unification of Italy, unification of Germany. Same, the background of Italy we're going to learn. So this is Italian map. కొంతమంది అనుకుంటొచ్చు ఇంకా నేను నువ్వు వేస్తాం అనుకున్నావు సార్ ఇటలీ. లేదు, అంత సాహసం చేయను. ఇండియన్ హిస్టరీలోనే చచ్చిపోయినాం సార్ నువ్వు నీ ఆర్టిస్ట్. ఓకే ఓకే ఓకే. విచ్ వన్? దిస్ వన్. आप ही बोलना है क्या है? आइसक्रीम कौन? उल्टा ओम. अच्छा, होता है. आप वसंत लक्ष्मी రాలేదా? ఓకే. దిస్ ఈజ్ ఇండియా. ఇండియా. ఓకే. కొంతమంది అనుకుంటారు బాగైంది ఇండియా. In general mentality classes, you're supposed to feel like this is, let us assume X, assume this is India. Okay. No. ఇప్పుడు అవన్నీ ఎందుకు సార్, దాన్ని తీసేస్తే అయిపోయింది. Fine. Chalo. So here, under the tag called unification of Italy, what are the events which led to the unification of Italy, especially the phases we are going to learn. There are 4 phases wherein I'll be going to explain how the unification has done, and especially by different personalities, different ideologies. As far as Count Cavour is concerned, the gentleman is known for, just listen the summary of the respective events. When it comes to Count Cavour, the staunch monarchical form of government, he believed in monarchical form of government, who happened to be the Prime Minister of Sardinian Kingdom, the Kingdom of Sardinia, the Prime Minister of Sardinian Kingdom. When it comes to Joseph Garibaldi, he was a republican nature. Even Joseph Mazzini was also republican nature. Count Cavour, monarchy, believer of monarchical form of government. When it comes to Joseph Garibaldi and Joseph Mazzini, so they believed in republican form of government. My point is, be it Count Cavour, be it Joseph Garibaldi and Joseph Mazzini, they fought for unification. And finally, it was in the year 1870, Italy got unified. So after unification, if someone asks a question, what form of government established in Italy? It was monarchical form of government established in Italy. So unification of Italy. This particular event which took place in the year 1870, so this is how Italy got independent. How India got independence in 1947, Italy got independence in 1870. How America got independence in 1783. After the same towards unification of Germany. Same phases in German unification, especially the role of Otto Bismarck. It was a gentleman who believed in the principle called might is right. That is the reason we call him as Iron Man. When it comes to Indian history, we call Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel as Iron Man. So why he was called as Iron Man and what kind of strategies followed by Otto Bismarck in the process called unification we are going to learn, and even the role of Frederick William I, the ruler of Germany at this point of time. So he also played crucial role. So my point is, another tag called nationalism in Europe, we are going to learn two subtopics, unification of Italy and unification of Germany. So let me tell you, when you have idea over these topics, it doesn't take much time in framing an answer for First World War. All these events which led to the First World War for a period of time. So in 1870, now unification of Germany, 1871 and all that. Next, the fifth topic, nationalism in China and Japan. Nationalism in China and Japan. So under fifth topic, write down subtopic, that is 5A, democratic revolution. No, so first topic. The fifth topic, we have two subtopics to be discussed. The first subtopic, democratic revolution in China, democratic revolution in China, in bracket 1911. So one more subtopic under fifth topic, communist revolution in China. Yes, communist revolution in China, 1949. Communist revolution in China, 1949. Chalo, look at the board. So under nationalism in China, we are going to learn, in fact, like, which also includes Japan and all, we are going to learn two subtopics. I'll be going to start what was the position of China in ancient and medieval ages, how India was ruled by so many monarchical forms of governments. After the same towards China, China was ruled by a dynasty called Manchu dynasty. Mohan Babu Valada sir, Valadi Gadu, Idi Vere Danot. Manchu dynasty. So the rulers of Manchu dynasty, they are known for their weakness, fit for nothing, right? Later Mughals, 18th century and all that. Having understood the inefficiency of Manchu rulers, Europeans started landing on China. Same stuff we discussed as part of Indian history. So European countries, so they established the colonies in China. Besides European countries, we also found America also established colonies in China. Forget about America, Japan also established colonies in China. Reason being, on one hand, European countries got industrialization. We have established industries. On the other hand, by what we call, say, 19th century, even America also got industrialized. And by early years of 20th century, Japan also got industrialized. So the moment you talk about industries, industries require raw materials. So raw materials would be converted into finished goods by industries. The moment you talk about finished goods require markets. So to acquire raw materials, you have to have colonies, and to dump your finished goods, you have to have colonies. This is nothing but colonization. So European countries entered in China, America also entered in China, and even Japan also entered in China. Resulted, we found so many conflicts between England and Chinese. We are going to discuss this particular event under the tag called Opium Wars. Nallamandu Yuddhalu antam Telugulo. Opium Wars. The outcome of Opium Wars, very simple. China was badly beaten by England. How English East India Company dominated the Indian affairs, so England dominated the Chinese affairs. Against foreign domination, the Chinese intellectuals under the guidance of Dr. Sun Yat-sen, it's the name of the leader, right? What is like Mahatma Gandhi for Indian context. Dr. Sun Yat-sen organized a revolution against Manchu dynasty. Manchu dynasty was dominated by foreigners and all. So the outcome of Republican Revolution or Democratic Revolution, that is monarchy was replaced by republic. The same stuff we discussed as part of French Revolution. The French Revolution of 1789, the outcome of French Revolution of 1789, monarchy was replaced by republican form of government. So here you call republican form of government, otherwise called as democratic form of government. So democratic form of government or republican form of government successfully failed in solving the problems of Chinese. Under these circumstances, a new ideology gained momentum in China, that is communist ideology, Communist Party of China, CPC, not Civil Procedure Code. CPC, Communist Party of China, Mao, Se, Tung and others. They got command over South China and they organized revolution that will be discussed under the tag called Communist Revolution. Artham cheskoli, making efforts to explain you people the summaries of the respective chapters, topics and subtopics. Next, the seventh topic, no, go for seventh topic. Seventh topic, nationalism in Japan. Nationalism in Japan. Yes, nationalism in Japan. So, have two subtopics under nationalism in Japan. The first subtopic, Meiji restoration, which is on board. Meiji, it's in Japanese term, the English version, enlightened, Meiji. అంటే జపనీస్ భాషలో నేర్పిస్తావు సార్, ఇది 2-3 భాషలు, 2-3 పదాలు భాషలు కాదు. సో Meiji restoration of 1868 and one more, militarism in Japan, the second subtopic you call it, militarism in Japan. So Meiji restoration of 1868, the first subtopic, and second subtopic, militarism in Japan. Militarism in Japan. So under nationalism in Japan, we are going to learn two topics, very brief topics. Our target is how Japan participated in First and Second World Wars. Let me tell you, the only country from Asian continent which participated in 2 world wars happened to be Japan. The only Asian country. And the students who have attended modern Indian history classes, they can pose me a question. As you said, even India also participated. When I say India participated, indirectly. Since England participated in First and Second World Wars, India had to participate in First and Second World Wars. I'm talking about Japan, directly participated, direct involvement, triple alliance. So under the tag called triple entity, when it comes to, yes, even in Second World War, Japan participated.
What about India?
Yes, India also participated in Second World War. Obviously, be it First and Second, India participated indirectly. Yes, no, that topic is different. That will be discussed under the tag called Indian National Army, otherwise called as Azad Hind Fauj. Azad Hind Fauj. Yes. Azad Hind Fauj happened during World War II only. I'll be going to speak 1942 to 1944. Until that, you watch a movie called Subhash Chandra Bose. Fantastic. Okay. So, one is Meiji restoration of 1868 followed by militarism in Japan. As far as Meiji restoration of 1868 is concerned, same, whatever the ancient institutions which we found in India, ancient institutions which we found in China, monarchical institutions you call them, after the same towards Japan. Japan was also ruled by monarchical forms of government. We call them, need not to just listen, we call them Mikados. The rulers of Japan were called as Mikados. And Mikados have got support from samurais. Sujiki samurai, sir? Kind of, right? Samurais. Samurais are nothing but the military officers of Japan. Some sort of what is Katappa for Bahubali kind of. Samurais for Mikados. Yes, samurais happen to be military officers, Mikados happen to be the rulers of Japan. Outcome, Japan was exploited by foreign institutions. When I say foreign institutions, that is England exploited Japan, America exploited Japan, France exploited Japan. What is the response of Japanese? Japanese, they were influenced by Western education, organized revolution against whom? Against foreigners. Outcome, they established a benevolent form of government in Japan. It's nothing but enlightened form of government, that is Meiji form of government. It's in 1868, second half of 19th century you call it. And from second half of 19th century onwards, it was benevolent government or enlightened government introduced so many reforms in Japan. And all these reforms led to becoming one of the popular, one of the powerful countries in the world. Forget about Asian continent. Economically prosperous. When it comes to army, military, is sophisticated weapons, education, industries, whatnot. That is reason Japan participated in First World War. Over a period of time, when Mikados became weak, when I say Mikados, the rulers of Japan, when Mikados became weak, the so-called samurais emerged as de factos. When I say samurais, military leaders. So this is how. No, I'm explaining the summary of the respective topics. I'll be going to discuss in detail. So when military heads became masters, you call, Japan experienced militarism, and military leaders, they recite a mantra that is war. War alone solves all the problems. No, that will be discussed in a separate session. No, I'm talking about summary. So this is what Meiji Restoration, which took place in second half of the 19th century, and how did military rulers, military officers become so powerful? It was in second half of 19th century, and not second half of 19th century. So first half of 20th century, military officers became so powerful. Outcome, they started suppressing the so-called, say, democratic events, democratic organizations and all. This is how Japan experienced complete military dictators. We referred as part of Indian history, Second World War fought between two groups, that is Axis and Allied. One of the countries of Axis, Germany, followed by Italy, followed by Japan. Germany, Adolf Hitler; Italy, Benito Mussolini; Japan, military dictators. Like-minded people. When I say like-minded people, Germany, Adolf Hitler, dictator; Benito Mussolini, better not to talk about the gentleman; and even military dictators. So Axis powers, like-minded people on one hand, and the other like-minded people, that is democratic countries, England, France, United States of America. But we also found here USSR, Union of Soviet Socialist Republic, USSR. So democratic plus socialism, because USSR, it doesn't have an option to join with Axis power. Such and no doubt Second World War came to an end. Outcome, Allied powers got victory. Now the actual cotton business started between democratic countries and socialistic countries. This is nothing but bipolar world. So prati topic nunchi konni points iskoni our own answers ni prepare cheyali. So every topic is important. My point is every topic is important, and have basic concepts from each and every topic. So the next topic, First World War. Next topic, First World War. What's the number? 8? Yes, 8th topic, First World War. Okay. Okay. होता रहता है ऑनलाइन और सब प्रोजेक्ट लेने पापम सर ये बत के मैं तो नार चस ओके चलो. So First World War, as far as First World War is concerned, so First World War fought between triple alliance and triple entity. 1914-1918, the duration of the war, First World War. So we're going to discuss causes for the outbreak of the war, followed by how it went on, course, and what was the outcome, consequences. Which one? Did I? ఏమేమో చేసింటా నేను లేకుంటే అన్నావు కదా చలో. సో 5th topic, nationalism in China. 6th one, nationalism in Japan. Yes. 7th one, First World War. Okay, chalo. So under the tag called First World War, what's the number of First World War? 7th topic. So 7th topic lo manaku two subtopics రాసుకోండి. Under the tag called 7th topic, 2 subtopics. The first one is causes and consequences of First World War. First subtopic, causes and consequences. The first subtopic, causes and consequences of First World War. Reasons. Yes. Consequences. మరి అంత ఆనందపడాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు. Second subtopic, League of Nations. Second subtopic, League of Nations. So one of online students, my name is Sneha Reddy, she asked the question, what is the difference between alliance and entity? Let me tell you, both are same, but for triple alliance and triple entity is concerned, we are going to discuss a little bit difference. Right? Alliance is nothing but some sort of confederation, you call it. Confederation, right? Confederation consists of X, Y, Z parties and all. Right? Then how about entity? Entity also the same. But there is a difference between triple alliance and triple entity. Once you join in entity, at any cost, you suppose not to come out.
In alliance, we can.
Yes, fantastic. Right? Take an example of triple entity, India. Triple alliance, United States of America. No nation. Okay. Right? At any point of time, a state can come out from the union, like United States of America. For example, New York is one of the states in United States of America. New York is not happy with central government or the union government. Yes, New York can come out from, yes, the union. But it's not the case of India. KCR sir in bite question general. If the government of Andhra Pradesh state wants to come out from India, नहीं जाने देंगे, घुस के मारेंगे, क्योंकि उनके पास भी आर्मी है, एयर फोर्स है, मारेंगे. So you suppose not to come out from where? Once you join in entity, that will be discussed. As of now, so Sneha Reddy asks the difference between alliance and entity. Alliance and entity. Chalo. To make you an example, let me give an example. First World War, as I was telling, First World War fought between two rival camps, that is triple alliance and triple entity. For example, triple alliance, we have Germany, you call it, followed by Austria, followed by Italy, and followed by, say, we have Turkey and other countries.
Japan.
No, Japan here. Right? So Italy jumped to triple entity in the year 1917. We are going to discuss why did Italians go to triple entity and all. But not even a single country of triple entity jumped to triple alliance. Fine. So the two topics under First World War. Next topic, Russian Revolution. Russian Revolution. Russian Revolution of 1917. No, that event which happened in 1990s, right? 1990s. Now we are going to discuss the events which happened in early years of 20th century, 1917 and all. See, no, Ukraine की बात बहुत दूर है. Ukraine का भाई, it was in 1960s. It joined USSR. We were discussing.
After World War II.
Yes, we were discussing how these countries, the European countries, emerged as states. To make you understand, India was not a state, it was a nation until 1947. To be specific, until 15th August 1947, we are supposed to call India as a nation. So from 15th August 1947 onwards, we can call India as a nation and as a state. In a nutshell, we were discussing the topics under the tag called Modern World History, how the nations have emerged as states. For example, how America emerged as an independent country. So America earlier was a nation. It became the status, it got status called state. Apply the same towards France. Apply the same towards China, Japan, and the so-called unification of Italy, unification of Germany, and even towards Russian Revolution. Russian Revolution of 1917. In fact, under Russian Revolution of 1917, write down two subtopics. The first one is Menshevik Revolution, which is on board. Menshevik Revolution, MENSHEVIK. Menshevik Revolution, oblique March Revolution of 1917. March Revolution. Yes, one of the months in Gregorian calendar. Then sir, ikkada February and Russian according to Russian calendar. Let us discuss according to Gregorian calendar. So Menshevik Revolution oblique March Revolution of 1917. If someone asks a question, what is the outcome of March Revolution of 1917 or Menshevik Revolution of 1917? Very simple outcome. Monarchy was replaced by republic. Monarchy was replaced by republic. The same case goes with France. The same case goes with China. And even the same case goes with Russia. It's quite interesting to know, except in India, we found two revolutions in every country. ఇక్కడ ఒక రెవల్యూషన్ తీసుకోవడానికే పుణ్యకాలం కాస్త అయిపోయింది. 2 revolutions, each and every country, including Russia. So, outcome of March Revolution, otherwise called as Menshevik Revolution of 1917, monarchy was replaced by republic, resulted from March to November, Russia was ruled by republican form of government. Outcome, the second subtopic, that is Bolshevik Revolution or November Revolution. No, as far as
1955, after
yes,
India
as far as Tibet is concerned, like we don't have exact source saying that. See, China, general studies classes will discuss చేసినాం. China is claiming that Tibet is part and parcel of China, but Tibet is claiming that no, వాళ్ళకు మాకు ఎలాంటి సంబంధం లేదు. We don't have any kind of connection with Chinese. When the gentleman Dalai Lama, you're quite aware of it, Dalai Lama organized a democratic revolution against China. What is the response of China? China made efforts to suppress the events of Dalai Lama, and outcome, Dalai Lama came to India. Indian government gave shelter to Dalai Lama. Resulted, China started targeting India. History taught us you're supposed not to give shelter to enemies. If you do so, you'll also become enemy. Simple. We have so many examples in history, be it in ancient, medieval, modern. The main motto of reading history, the main motto of understanding historical events, we have to learn lessons from these events. And we shall not commit those blunders which have committed by our forefathers. इतिहास का जानने का यही मकसद है. Hope you are getting what I am trying to tell you. चलो, नोक नंबर.
we have given shelter to Dalai Lama.
Yes. No, very simple. He
China
sought.
attacks,
That is the reason we started sending armies to Siachen. Siachen happened to be the world's highest battlefield. Nothing is there except ice. Who suggested you to commit the blunders, and who suggests you to send your soldiers to the dangerous places? No doubt, if someone asks the shelter, if someone the SAR, the help, we are supposed to extend our help. At the same time, we shall keep in mind to whom we are extending our support. Nagaraj Palu vaste nooktadu general rate. I know sir, Pamu Nagaraj. Simple logic. Well, Nagala Chauthi Pamu, that is another story. Nagala Chauthi, Pamala Pandaga, that is another story. You are supposed not to invite the problems. And we have a proverb in English: prevention is better than cure. That's what. In fact, we are going to learn whatever the events you are telling, the same events which happened in the history. Before giving shelter to anyone, you shall assess who is behind the person. Who is behind the person? Chalo, look at the board. Let me explain one event. I'll be going to speak as part of medieval Indian history. When Delhi Sultanate was ruling by a gentleman by name Altamash, otherwise called as Iltutmish, was a ruler of Delhi Sultanate. One of the rulers of Delhi Sultanate, Iltutmish.
at what time?
No, not important. Right? Event is important, not year. Right? So, one of the outstate princes by name Jalaluddin Mangabarni sought the help of Altamash. So, the name of the gentleman Jalaluddin Mangabarni. We found in Central Asia. In Central Asia, we had an empire called Khwarizmi Empire. Khwarizmi Empire experienced war of succession. Varasatva Yuddham antam Telugu. Fight for the throne. X-contestant versus Y-contestant. X-contestant got support from Mongols. Why contestant got support from Carcoons? Unimportant, just have an idea. Now, the why contestant by name Jalaluddin Mangabani. The outcome of War of Succession, contestant X became the ruler. So, with the help of Mongol. So, when contestant X became the ruler of Khwarizmi Empire with the help of Mongols, the ruler of Khwarizmi Empire instructed Mongols, इसको खत्म कर दो and kill him. Obviously, you're supposed not to leave, you're supposed not to spare the traces of enemies. That's what you might have watched a movie called Bahubali, right? That Bhallala Deva, right? No. First,
Like old
no.
kind of
First, let me explain, then you can think. My point is, when Mongols chased Jalaluddin Mangabani, under these circumstances, Jalaluddin Mangabani sought the help of Delhi Sultan. What is the response of Sultan of Delhi? He assessed behind Jalaluddin Mangabani, that is Mongols. So, Delhi Sultan by name Iltutmish, he did not extend his support to Jalaluddin Mangabani. What is the response of Jalaluddin Mangabani? He simply came to northwestern India, and from northwestern India he went to China. So, this is how he protected Delhi Sultanate. And better not to talk about the fate of Jalaluddin Mangabani. He was chased by Mongols, destroyed northwestern Indian towns and cities, plundered northwestern Indian towns and cities. They simply chased Jalaluddin Mangabani. It was the ruler of China who gave shelter to Jalaluddin Mangabani. Both were brutally assassinated. By whom? Mongols. So my point is, we have to learn lessons from history. Nothing is wrong giving shelter to someone. No, it's nothing associated. We must be very cautious while you are giving shelter. अभी क्या चल रहा? लड़ाई तो चल रहा ना? किसके बीच में चल रहा? इंडिया वर्सेस चाइना.
cross border
नो, वो पूरा छोड़ डालो. That is not our topic, right? अभी तो लड़ाई चल रहा. किसके बीच में चल रहा? इंडिया वर्सेस whatever the circumstances. Once you committed blunder. सब लोग ये पूछते कि क्या हुआ? सर्विस आया नहीं है. Fine. Okay. So here under the tag called Russian Revolution, two topics: Menshevik Revolution, otherwise called as March Revolution; Bolshevik Revolution, otherwise called as November Revolution. So it was November Revolution organized by communist leaders. You also call them socialists. In fact, there is a difference between socialism and communism. I'll be going to speak. So Vladimir Ulyavich Ulyanov, popularly called as Lenin, it was the gentleman who was the head of Bolshevik Revolution. The outcome of Bolshevik Revolution, Republican form of government was replaced by socialistic form of government or communistic form of government, you call it. The first country in the world to be experienced communist form of government happened to be Russia, 1917 November. And the second government happened to be obviously China, 1949, Communist Revolution of China and all that. So after Lenin, we found Joseph Stalin, followed by Second World War and other stuff. Next topic, the world between two world wars. Under the tag called the world between two world wars. Write down two subtopics: Nazism in Germany. Two subtopics: Nazism in Germany, and one more subtopic, that is fascism in Italy. When it comes to militarism in Japan, already we are going to discuss under the tag called nationalism in Japan. So keep aside here militarism. So the world between two world wars, under the world between two world wars or interwar period we call it. Two topics we are going to learn: how a new ideology gained momentum in Germany. One political party called NSG-WP, National Socialist German Worker Party, popularly called as Nazi Party, under the guidance of, the gentleman. What is the name of the gentleman? Adolf Hitler. So it was the gentleman who was responsible for consolidation of Nazi Party in Germany. And it was he who took Germany towards Second World War. And when it comes to Benito Mussolini, who was responsible taking Italians towards Second World War. And better not to talk about Japanese military dictators. So we వెళ్తుంటే आप लोग कहाँ पे जा रहे, हम लोग जा रहे, हम भी आते हैं చెప్పారు. All are गाए తిరిగి नहीं आए. Second World War. The outcome of Second World War, that is like, the Axis were allied, Axis versus allied, that is Axis shattered to pieces. So what events which led to the rise of Nazism in Germany? More or less the same events which led to rise of fascism in Italy, we are going to discuss. So when we understand this particular topic, the phrase of the topic, the world between two world wars. When I say the world between two world wars, 1919 to 1939, 2 decades. 1919 to 1929. In 1929, we found the Great Economic Depression. 1919 to 1929 and 1929 to 1939. So whatever events which found in Europe, especially in Germany, Italy, when it comes to in Asian continent, Japan, all these events led to Second World War. And Second World War fought between, across the globe, but it started in America. It had spread to Europe. And it got accelerated the rise of new political philosophies, be it communism, be it Nazism, fascism. We have different the philosophies. One of the reasons, the economic depression. And the last topic, fine. Next, Second World War. Right? The next topic, Second World War, 1939, 1945. Yes. Second World War, 1939, 1945. Same, causes, causes and consequences. So we're going to discuss causes for the outbreak of Second World War and how it went on. I'll be going to speak. So the 2 phases of Second World War. The first phase, 1939, 1940, and second phase, 1941, 1945. The same strategies which we have found in Indian history, like Second Carnatic War and Second Anglo-Mysore Wars and all that. So, of course,
mainly the Second World War.
Second World War. Yes, I do accept. I personally feel that without Second World War, forget about independence to Indian and independence to colonies, especially India. So many people have a perception that because of Congress party we have got independence. No doubt, Congress party is one of the reasons we call it, right? One of the reasons. But the main reason happened to be Second World War. England was not in a position to rule colonies which are located hundreds and thousands of kilometers away from England. So English government decided to give independence. This is how colonies were given independence. Obviously, one of the colonies happened to be India. So between 1939 to 1940, the war was in favor of Axis powers. So many battles fought between Axis powers and Allied powers between 1939 and 1940. In all battles, yes, Axis powers got victory. When I say Axis powers, Germany, Adolf Hitler, Italy, Benito Mussolini, Japan, military dictators. One of the blunders committed by Japan during Second World War, Japan, what we call attacked on Pearl Harbor in the month of December 1940. Until then, United States of America maintained neutrality with this event. When I say with this event, the event which took place in the month of December, 1940, that is Pearl Harbor was bombarded by Japan. So United States of America made it clear that yes, we are also in war. देख लेंगे అని చెప్పింది. ఎట్టయితే అట్టయితుందని చెప్పింది. होता रहता है. మరి అంత దీనంగా చూడక దండం పెడతా. ఇప్పటివరకు మమ్మల్ని ఆడుకున్నావు కదా, నీకు ఉంటుంది. ఓకే. సో ఫ్రమ్ 1941 onwards, the war tilted towards Allied powers. Strictly speaking, by 1944, the war came to an end. When I say 1944, war came to an end, so Benito Mussolini got killed by his own people. Next, Germany, the gentleman Adolf Hitler got committed suicide. And what's left? Japan. For about 1 year, Japan was the only country from Axis powers continued the war. There were so many ultimatums sent by Allied powers to Japan. Yes, That is one of the reasons why Azad Hind Fauj also got diminished. One of the reasons, because Japan herself started experiencing so many setbacks during Second World War, and Japan made it clear that we are not in a position to help. No, Subhash Chandra Bose had been to Germany. On the instructions of Adolf Hitler, he went to Singapore, where he became the master of 40,000 British Indian forces. Little later, he reorganized, and what he and his team preferred to call it as Azad Hind Fauj. So by 1945, that is August 6th and August 9th, the two atom bombs were dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. 6th August 1945 on Hiroshima, 9th August 1945 Nagasaki. And by 12th August you call it, by 12th August 1945, Japan surrendered unconditionally. Outcome, Second World War came to an end. So obviously Allied powers got victory. No, by 1944 itself, Azad Hind Fauj got disappeared. By 1944 itself. Okay. Okay. Attagan. Asal lagagli. Next, United. No, we'll discuss, right? So next topic, United Nations. United Nations Organization, UNO. So in order to understand the international relations, IR, the topics under IR, yes, you have to have the background of UNO. United Nations Organizations. We're going to discuss the background of United Nations Organizations. What are the aims and objectives of United Nations Organizations? What are the important organs? What are the important organs? We have so many organs, at least 25 plus organs at present United Nations Organization had. We're not going to discuss 25 organs. We're going to discuss at least half a dozen important organs, followed by some sort of branches, you call them, organizations. Say we have General Assembly, Secretariat, ICJ, International Court of Justice, Security Council, ECOSOCO, Economic and Social Council, and all that. So we call them organs. Yes, you can call sub-officers. So here, background, aims and objectives, important organizations, followed by what are the achievements of United Nations Organization, and at the same time, what are the failures of United Nations Organization. And this particular event is important for general studies mains, achievements and failures of United Nations Organization, besides relevance of UNO to present society. When I say United Nations Organization, after Second World War, which came to an end 1945, after Second World War, the world divided into two halves, that is, we call the Cold War, that is so democratic countries versus communist countries. Democratic countries, the head of democratic countries, United States of America, and the head of communist countries, USSR. So we call this phenomenon, aftermath of Second World War, that is bipolar world. The moment you talk about the two divisions, it's better to have a big brother, and the role of big brother was taken by UNO. So it was in 1991, the so-called USSR got disintegrated. What does that mean? The so-called bipolar world came to an end, and emergence of unipolar world. Now the question is, how far having an organization called United Nations Organization relevance to present society? Because we have so many organizations. You call G5, G20, we have so many organizations. So what is the relevance of UNO? That will be discussed. Another tag called relevance of UNO. And the last topic, that is Cold War. Cold War. Yes. What is it by Cold War? Good. Cold War is nothing but it's an against active war. Against active war. Active war is nothing but fighting face to face. Right? Yes. Okay. Chalo. So as far as the Cold War is nothing but an against active war. Yes, someone is saying the proxy war, some sort of war kind of environment, but not war. Okay. Huh? War kind of environment but not war. So चलो हम लोग न्यूज़पेपर में पढ़ेंगे बाद में, पहले तो हमको थोड़ा टाइम दे दो बात करने में. हाँ चलो. Good. So if someone asks a question, what is the reign period, the tag of Cold War, the duration of Cold War according to Arnold Toynbee, need not just listen, 1945 to 1991. As I was telling, that is after Second World War, the entire world divided into two halves. We have democratic countries headed by United States of America, we call them democratic bloc. When it comes to communist countries headed by USSR. When USSR got disintegrated in the 1991, the so-called Cold War came to an end. So between 1945 to 1991, we found so many organizations and so many blocs. You also call them military blocs. One among them was NATO, one among them was CETO, Southeast Atlantic Treaty. We have so many military blocs. We are going to learn another tag called Cold War. Right. So these are the 12 topics, you call them. 12 topics. We are going to discuss another tag called, it's an CETO, CEATO, please. CEATO. CETO. SEATO. Yes. Right. Now, with this background, start with American Revolution. The first topic, American Revolution. So far, we discussed, no, it's not. No doubt, everyone has the atom bombs, including India, if I'm not wrong. Hai, apan ke paas nahi hai. Harigindan Kazarjip. Do we have atom bomb?
What?
Do we have atom bomb?
Yes, we do.
Yes, bas
We
hai.
also have nuclear power also.
Chalo, good. So here, my point is, everyone has nuclear weapons, you call, everyone has atom weapons, but if you want to drop on another country, we have to think 1000 times. Because history taught us, war is a violent teacher which consumes everyone and everything. War is a violent teacher. War is a violent teacher which consumes everyone. When I say everyone, humans, soldiers, right?
Violent teacher.
Yes. Say, to make you understand, it creates massive death and destruction. Death and destruction. Take an example of First World War, take an example of Second World War. Whenever you come across the war which consumes resources, maybe like, some material, maybe human resources, we call this kind of victories as Pyrrhic victory. I'll be going to speak, right? Pyrrhic victory. To make you understand, when I say Axis versus Allied, Axis powers got defeated during Second World War, Allied powers got victory. Let me tell you, the same death and destruction took place even in Allied power. What kind of death and destruction took place in Axis power? Might be here, I'm just giving for your convenience, 1000 people, here 999 people got killed. Here 20 industrial towns might have got destroyed, here 19 industrial towns might have got destroyed. Equal death and destruction. Then what is the difference? The difference is the tag called victorious. That is the reason the so-called industrialized countries, the colonial masters, they were not in a position to stand on their own feet, forget about ruling the colonies. Outcome, colonies were given independence. One among them was India. So my point is, we have to learn events, we have to learn lessons from these events. Chalo. So with this background, start with American Revolution, or in some text you also come across American War of Independence. Both are same. American War of Independence or American Revolution.
American Revolution.
Yes. Very first topic, right? American Revolution or American War of Independence. So before get the details of American Revolution, you write down like the one or two books, reference books we call. The first one is, what are the books to be referred for world history? The first book, BA third year by Telugu Academy. BA third year by Telugu Academy. This is not in Telugu medium but in English medium. BA third year. So name of the book, The History of Modern World. History of Modern World. BA third year. BA third year, History of Modern World by Telugu Academy. It's a very lucid book. It is written by the professors of Osmania University and other affiliated colleges for degree students. And don't say that we have completed a degree. I know that. For degree students. Degree students కి ఎంతైతే నాలెడ్జ్ కావాలనో అంతా వాళ్ళు ఇవ్వడం జరిగింది. So my point is, you supposed to read this particular book for basics. Once you get through the book, now the second book, Modern World History. Modern World History. Yes. L. Mukherjee. Modern World History. L. Mukherjee.
Author's name?
Yes, author's name happened to be L. Mukherjee. Right. As of now, 2 books are enough. పొరపాటున మీకు ఈ ప్రాసెస్లో if you want to read more books, then I'll recommend the other books. Instead of taking say half a dozen books, keeping in almara, it doesn't make any sense. Have only 1 or 2 books, start reading them. And follow a strategy. Say for example, tomorrow we are going to continue American Revolution. So take a book, read American Revolution. Spend at least 15 to 20 minutes, or if you have half an hour time, spend on American Revolution. So what is this American Revolution? So what does it mean by revolution? What does it mean by movement? What are the differences between movements and revolutions? Why Americans organize revolutions? When I say why Americans organize revolutions, is nothing but causes for the outbreak of revolution. So have XYZ causes.
Online also.
Yes, online, it may take a week or 10 days.
I mean like PDFs, PDF forms.
No, I don't think so. That just go some XYZ bookstalls we have. You can get it right.
For Telugu Academy also.
Yes, Telugu Academy also. अगर आप लोग हिमायत नगर से आ रहे, तेलुगु अकेडमी है ना वहाँ पे, हिमायत नगर पे, वहाँ पे जा लो, मिल जाएगा टाइम. So one is prior preparation, second one is attending the lecture, listening the lecture, understanding the lecture and writing down important points, and the third element, going back to your dormitory, is once again reading the topic. This is how you have to consolidate the subject. Follow these 3 strategies for all subjects, not only for history, for all subjects. First reading, while you're reading first, for the first time, you may get sea of doubts. Write on a piece of paper, throw on my face. General cheptunna. Listen, write down important points, go back and once again read, have your own notes. And that notes would be your asset. It takes a lot of time. Have patience. 6 months lo gottalante kudaradannamata. Those who have the idea of getting clearing exam within 6 months, 1 year, you just delete this particular perception, because in order to understand the syllabus, it takes 1 year. Let me tell you, 1 year. It takes 1 year to understand the process of examination. To understand the phase of examination, it takes 1 year. Definitely it takes time. Start working on this. So American Revolution. The first topic, American Revolution. So one more, a caution to be what we call followed. If someone asks a question, if I feel that the question to be explained in class, definitely. If I feel that this particular question to be explained outside the class, just cooperate. Because for one question, I can't sacrifice the remaining students. Again, sir, question ante question kada. Yes, I do accept. Doubt is doubt only. But all doubts cannot be clarified in the class. So few doubts can be clarified outside the class. Fine. So before getting the details of American Revolution, how America got colonized. How America got colonized. We'll have the brief, what we call, understanding, background of emergence of 13 colonies and all. Unimportant, just have an idea. Just have an idea, unimportant. So from where it becomes important? After formation of colonies. So 13 colonies, I'll be going to give the list, 13 colonies. So from formation of the colonies onwards is important. Actual story starts from formation of 13 colonies. So it was in the year 1453, Muslims under the guidance of Muhammad II occupied Constantinople. The significance of Constantinople, it was the capital of Eastern Byzantine Empire. So the question is, why did Muslims occupy Constantinople in the year 1453, and why did they occupy Constantinople only? When I say Muslims occupied Constantinople in the year 1453, we found some sort of conflicts between Muslims and Christians. So we call them crusades. Crusade is a Latin term, the English version, religious wars. Mata yuddhalu antam telugu. So this particular topic is important for academic students. Let them go to the hell, which is not important for us. Okay, idea pettukodaniki, that's it. So as part of crusades, Muslim rulers determined to teach a lesson to Christians. They understood it was Constantinople which was sponsoring war. Which, Constantinople became some sort of Kamadhenu for Christians. Constantinople, it was so expensive city, it was so prosperous city by mid 15th century. Why it was so expensive city? Reason being, Constantinople was the only landmass which was connecting Western countries to Eastern countries. And there was massive demand of Eastern commodities in Western countries. We have Eastern commodities. When I say Eastern commodities, we have spices. Sugandha dravyalu antam telugulo. We have textiles. We have food grains. We have ivory products, whatnot. We have so many commodities. We found massive demand on Western countries. So the moment you talk about Eastern trade, the Eastern trade route, you call it Constantinople. Obviously, Constantinople was getting taxes in the form of import. Constantinople also getting taxes in the form of export. So my point is, Constantinople was so prosperous, which happened to be the Christian capital, that is Eastern Byzantine Empire. So in order to teach a lesson to Christians, Muslims, Turkish Muslims especially under the guidance of Muhammad II, they occupied Constantinople. So the ruler of Eastern Byzantine Empire got killed and Christians were assassinated and Constantinople was occupied by Muslims. So what? The so-called trade route became standstill from 15th century onwards. And there were so many countries on Western Hemisphere, that is for our convenience, let me use a term called Europe. We have Portugal, we have Spain, we have Holland, we have England, we have France, we have so many countries. So the people of European kingdoms, European countries, they started organizing revolts against kings because they were not getting Eastern commodities. To make you understand, in 21st century, 2023, how we became the slaves of Western commodities. Until 18th century, the Westerners became the slaves of Eastern commodities. In 21st century, we can't imagine our life without Western commodities, especially mobile phones. Cell phone lekunte gila కొట్టుకుంటాం జనరల్గా. చేప ఎలాగైతే నీళ్ళ మీద పడి చచ్చిపోతుందో, ఫోన్ లేకపోతే మెసేజ్ వచ్చిందో లేదో ఎవడి క్యాలిక్యులేషన్స్ ఆడుకుంటాం. We became slaves of Western commodities. So my point is, what is the response of Western rulers? So Western rulers have decided to find alternative routes to Eastern countries. This is nothing but Geographical discoveries. Geographical discoveries. This is one of the reasons why the Western countries like Portugal, Spain, Holland and other countries discovered sea routes to India. I'll be going to speak more of the same stuff as part of modern Indian history. Now we were discussing American Revolution. We are making efforts to understand the background of America. So it was Spain, one of the countries in European continent at this point, so Spain, the rulers of Spain sent many what we call navigators. What for? To explore alternative routes to eastern countries. One among them was Christopher Columbus. Christopher Columbus. So this gentleman, by citizen, he was he belonged to what we call Italy, but he got support from Spain. So with the help of Spain, he got ventured in sea journey. The main motto of Christopher Columbus, he wanted to discover sea route to eastern countries in general, in particular India. So with this motto, Christopher Columbus along with his team, he left Madrid. Madrid happened to be the capital of Spain. And Christopher Columbus, he sailed and finally Christopher Columbus got reached to North America. We have two Americas, North America and South America. It was Christopher Columbus in the year 1493. Now you can write down this, right? In 1493, Christopher Columbus discovered a new world. In 1493, Christopher Columbus discovered new world. 1493. In 1493, Christopher Columbus, the Spanish navigator, discovered a new world. That is North America. He discovered new world. Say he discovered North America. We suppose not to call as of now North America. He discovered new world. The world is not named after some XYZ people. It was not demarcated. So we generally call it, he discovered new world. And he met the local people. You call them aboriginals. The aboriginals. And he misunderstood them. And he branded them as Red Indian. He branded them as Red Indians. Because he misunderstood, he discovered sea route to India and whatever the people were there New World, and he started calling them as Red Indians. And let me tell you, neither he discovered sea route to India, nor they were Indians. Then why the hell he called, he branded them as Red Indians? He perceived that it was India and he perceived that they were Indians. Now why he called them as Red Indians? Because they were reddish in color, Red Indians. Right? And he returned to Madrid. Yes, అనుకుంటా పోయాడు అనమాట. క్యావా అని చెప్పారు. I did success అని చెప్పారు. నువ్వు నీ ముఖం ఆల్రెడీ పోర్చుగీస్ పీపుల్ దే డిస్కవర్డ్ సీ రూట్ అని చెప్పారు. అరే కిత్నా కామ్ హోగా మేడం అని చెప్పారు. దెన్ నేను ఏం డిస్కవర్ చేసినానని చెప్పారు. నువ్వు ఏం డిస్కవర్ చేసినావు ఇంకోసారి వెళ్ళరాపు అని చెప్పారు. సో ది జెంటిల్మెన్ వన్స్ అగైన్ హీ వెంట్ టు ద న్యూ వరల్డ్. So when Christopher Columbus had been to the new world for second time, we found another navigator by name Amerigo Vespucci. Now we can write down this point. In 1503, Amerigo Vespucci. In 1503, an Italian navigator, Amerigo Vespucci. In 1503, Italian navigator Amerigo Vespucci. Vespuccie, Vespucci. It's the name of the Italian navigator. Italian navigator Amerigo Vespucci studied the new land. And over a period of time, the land is named after him. That is Amerigo, America. Over a period of time, United States of America. So this is how the new land which was discovered by, over a period of time, the land is named after Amerigo. The land is named after him, you call. Amerigo, America. So I repeat, it was in 1493, new land discovered by Christopher Columbus. The land was visited by so many what we call say navigators. One among them was the Italian navigator by name Amerigo Vespucci. Since he had done a lot of research on the land is named after him, Amerigo, America, or United States of America. And the entire information got to know by what we call say Europeans, and they started rushing towards America. Outcome, for a period of time we found 13 colonies. 13 colonies, right? Yes, towards America, right? And they have established their colonies. Let me tell you, these events took place at least like the 1 year, let me tell you. So from 1500 to 1600, I'm sorry, 1 century, not 1 year, 1 century, from 1500 to 1600. So from 17th century onwards, we supposed to discuss the history of America from 17th century onwards. Because by 17th century, we found 13 colonies in America. So we generally use the 13 colonies, right? Now have small subheading, that is emergence of 13 colonies. Emergence of 13 colonies. Yes, small subheading. Emergence of 13 colonies. 13 colonies, 1-3. Just write down one statement. Between 1493 to 1600, between 1493 to 1600, many Europeans went to the America. Many Europeans went to the America and set up the respective colonies. So have small subheading, reasons. So why did Europeans go to America? Like reasons for 13 colonies and all. So as far as reasons for 13 colonies and all, so we'll have a pause here. In the next class, we'll discuss why did Europeans go to America? For so many reasons, right? Few went to America in order to get raw materials because of industrialization. Few went to America to get peaceful life, because at this point of time, Europe was full of chaos. We found sectarian conflicts. When I say sectarian conflicts, we have in Christianity, we have two sects, that is Roman Catholics and Protestants. How in Hinduism, we have two branches, Shaivism and Vaishnavism. In Islam, we have two branches, Sunnis and Shias. In Jainism, we have two branches. In Buddhism, we have there is no religion which is free from schism, we call it. So since Europe experienced what we call a lot of sectarian conflicts, people started leaving Europe. For so many reasons, the Europeans left their respective homelands and they got settled in America. Strictly speaking, by 1600 or 17th century, keep aside 1600, by 17th century, when we understand the map of 13 colonies, except one colony, the remaining colonies were packed with European. It's in Rhode Island. I'll be going to speak in the next class. Right? Rhode Island, to which your Barack Obama belonged to. Except Rhode Island, the remaining 12 colonies were packed with Europeans. Strictly speaking, United States of America is nothing but the country of settlers. How we have Dallaspura, right? No, I'm asking. No, I won't say he is a real American. Barack Obama belonged to Rhode Island, please. Rhode Island. There are how many states? No, I don't think. No, this is not my cup of tea. My cup of tea is what happened. Right? So Rhode Island, to which these gentlemen belong to Barack Obama. So my point is, out of 13 colonies, we have only one colony which is inhabited by the local people. For our convenience, we call them Red Indians, as branded by Christopher Columbus. Neither they were Indians nor, yes, natives kind of. Right? Fine. So with this, we'll have a pause. In the next class, we'll continue the same session. Thank you.